Well, and welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms because, the matrix as we know it is gone. And truly you have an opportunity to break out of your mental prison, of your material prison, of your emotional prison, of your psychological prison. And this opportunity is like never before because we are in the 2020 vision year where truly everything can be known to you. The truth shall make you free. And now, for the first time in hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years, we can finally see, the spell is kind of collapsing and people can now see the truth of, their reality and the truth of their own power, but those are stories for other days. Really do want to thank everyone that supports us on our Patreon account. We absolutely appreciate, love each and every one of you. We wouldn't be able to do this show without you. And go ahead and consider joining us for as little as $2 a day. $2 a month. We also have our new website, which we'll be launching soon. I'll be giving you guys details about that. Now, a very interesting story coming out of Iran, totally unrelated to Africa, but it has kind of caught the imagination of many African nations and it was run as a news story in many local dailies. Iran has actually asked Interpol to help arrest Trump for killing their general, Qasem Soleiman. I don't know if you remember last year, the general was actually taken out by a drone strike, literally assassinated. So what has happened is that Iran said on Monday, it had called for Interpol, which is basically the international police, to help arrest Donald Trump. I mean, of all the things Trump is dealing with right now, there's an arrest warrant out for him and 35 other U.S. officials for the January killings of its top general in an American drone strike. And the Tehran prosecutor, he goes by the name of Ali Qasimer. He was quoted by the Iran news agency IRNA saying 36 U.S. political and military officials were involved in the assassination of General Qasem Soleiman, who was, one of the major generals of the Iran army and had been really causing havoc for the U.S. In terms of their Middle Eastern politics. So they said, he went on to say these people have been charged with murder and terrorist acts and they've been investigated and were ordered to be arrested through Interpol. Wow. Okay, I mean, as an underdog, countries like, East African countries and stuff love these kind of stories. And they said, at the top of the list is U.S. President Donald Trump, and his prosecution will continue even after the end of his term. Damn. Referring to his bid for re-election in November. Wow. Wow. And, according to the prosecution, they say that Trump actually ordered the killing of Soleiman in a January 3rd strike, a drone strike near Baghdad International Airport. And though Soleiman in Iran is a national hero, Trump described him as the world's top terrorist who should have been terminated long ago. Does this ring a bell? Gaddafi and Gaddafi much? Let's not forget, Obama did take out Gaddafi, right, on similar charges. Saddam Hussein much? Bush took out Saddam Hussein on similar allegations. Will these people ever face justice? I believe it's going to happen in our lifetime. Things are changing. The power dynamics of the world are shifting so rapidly. And even though the divided states does have, the most powerful military presence, currently in the world, they have bases everywhere. It may end up being null and void when certain spiritual, powers become activated. But let me know what you think. I mean, of course, will it really go anywhere? Unlikely, but it will just cause troubles for Trump if someone wants to just, mess with him. Of course, we know that no US president has ever even been persecuted by or prosecuted by the ICC. In fact, recently, the ICC prosecutor, who happens to be an African woman, had actually, had said they were going to investigate the divided states and Trump's government on crimes against humanity. Immediately, Trump banned all their visas to the US and even threatened withholding funding from the International Criminal Courts. And it's important, as a side note, as I finish, it's important to know that if you look at the history of the ICC, the International Criminal Court, and The Hague, you will see that the most cases are African and, Eastern European. But the two culprits of the nastiness that goes in this world, they're the ones just picking and choosing which cases come to the International Court. I think only Africans and Eastern Europeans have even ever been arrested or even persecuted or even jailed. So it's always been seen as a biased thing. But anyway, let me know what you think. This is interesting. Wow, Donald Trump arrested by Interpol and taken to Iran. Until next time, beloveds. Tuko pamoja. Hello and welcome to Africa Watch on the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I pray you're well in all your ways and that you are living your best life. Thanks to everybody that has subscribed to the channel. You guys are super, super awesome. Thanks to everyone that supports us through our PayPal and our Patreon. Really, really appreciate each and every single one of you. You're amazing. Our PayPal is back online. Thanks to our growing Patreon family as well. Just sending all kinds of love. Now, Kagame. Yeah, President Paul Kagame showed us why a lot of people consider him to be like the Pan-Africanist leader right now, even though there's a lot of questions surrounding a lot of issues, which I won't get into now. He actually has been causing all kinds of ripples across the African continent after an interview he did with a lady called Catherine Nicholson on French 24 in Europe, called, I think, Europe Today or something today, whatever, where he actually literally ended up fighting with this lady when he was called out on the human rights record, and he even called out Europe and said, Europe has the worst European human rights record. But just before I get into that, look at how the conversation, we're going to show you when the conversation started to disintegrate. If you want to see the full interview, we'll put the link below, or you can look for it at the French 24 news site. But just take a listen to this and how, how obnoxious this reporter is. She's gross. Take a listen.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
I think this kind of discussion, which has gone on for a very long time around, sounds a bit cynical in a sense. In fact, it's like the tragic situation of 1994 isn't considered even a violation of human rights. It has now gone into the background. Those who are responsible for it, those who are associated with it, are now talking about something else. According to them, the situation in Rwanda is that of human rights violation, even more than that tragic situation. I think that's what we are talking about. So,
well, just for example, there was Amnesty International wrote a report in the lead up to the 2017 election that talks about opposition politicians, journalists, human rights defenders being jailed, physically attacked, even killed.
I think you're interested in
forced into exile or silence. So I'm just interested in your idea of that assessment of your country.
Raising your views to the audience so that you influence them by what you're
the European Union sees itself very much as an exporter of human rights and a defender of human rights.
So why can't you let me answer this?
I'm very interested in
Otherwise,
your answer.
you are going to ask and then answer yourself.
I'm very interested in your answer. I'm giving you some context on why I'm asking.
You're asking and giving answer at the same time. So
please tell me, what do you make of this assessment?
I think it's just ridiculous, because there is nothing like human rights minus these things we are talking about. What we are talking about in terms of development. These are human rights. Development, schools, education, health, and food security. And, you know, when you see now the level of poverty has decreased almost by 60%. So these people, these human beings with improved lives and participating in that themselves to improve their own lives, gets lost in what the whole list you've been spelling out as if, you know, what is in Rwanda is really hell. In fact, forgetting the hell that we have gone through, that we stood against and sorted out when you were there just talking about more or less nonsense. Because
do you reject the accusations, for example, from Amnesty International?
Absolute rubbish.
You reject
Rwanda
that?
is completely different from what it was 25 years ago. In fact, maybe you need to be looking around in Europe. You are violating people's rights. When we have this problem of people being bundled and sent back to sink in the Mediterranean and so on, and so many people being mistreated in your own countries, why don't you talk about your human rights and stop just offloading everything?
Well, this is a development conversation, so no, in the context of development.
You are not the one to determine what conversation or what points to raise in any conversation. We are asking questions, this is what I'm saying. You are asking questions and you are giving yourself answers.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.